Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society. This is Season 2, Episode 18, Tomorrow's Yesterday. As always, the Black Dice Society is a horror stream, and as such, you may see content or situations that you don't encounter in standard streams. So viewer discretion advised, especially because there's a potential for some particularly gross things to happen today. As always, I'm aware of the cast lines and veils. We have our safety tools in place. They know how to contact me if something's wrong. So if a scene should suddenly go dark, it might be because somebody was a little squicked out, and somebody might get a little squicked out today, pending, some stuff. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But we have a lot of significant announcements to make today. First, as always, Die Hard Dice, our wonderful show sponsors. But today, my dice have gone live. There's a link in the bio, my Mintaka set. This doesn't do it justice. They're cool sparkly gold with blue letters because sparkly gold and blue, that's kind of my jam. So check it out. The link should be popping up. And again, you can use our code BDS to get 10% off of those dice or any of the other dopeness that they have in it. dieharddice.com. Again, Warriors of Waterdeep. Code should be appearing there for you. Our TeePublic store, bags, masks, totes, pillows. You could have a Desmond on a pillow that you could just cuddle to rest up against. There it is. You could build like a pillow fort out of all of our people here. Secret Lab chairs, again, love mine. It's like riding around on the couch there. We have our Idle Champions code, which should be appearing in chat here. I'd like to point out just the hero we need, Lauren Urban with C&E Games, when she realized that we only had 9 episodes left, and we do have 9 episodes left, was like, I'll just go ahead and approve all the codes, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore. So there's still a non-zero chance I'm going to find a way to mess it up, but hopefully she is compensated for me being me enough that it should be smooth sailing from here on out on the Idle Champions codes. As always, we've got our code BDS art here with our wonderful art by Adam Schubert. Every sale that we make on one of these, we make a donation to World Builders to help end global hunger, and you just have something dope, museum quality, to hang on your wall. One last thing from me this weekend. I'm doing some webinars about how to be a pro DM, how to be a pro player. Check it out. It's pinned at the top of my Twitter, at BDaveWalters. You can get all the details. But most importantly, the thing that I'm most excited about, you know what? I'm going to leave you hanging for the thing I'm most excited about, because let's introduce who all these beautiful people are first, and then I'll tell you the thing that I'm most excited about. So let's start here at the top with Nahara.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere at Norological. And tonight I play Nahara, who is a reborn Fallen Azamar undead bardlock. Here for all your spooky foreshadowing and, the cards. Don't worry if you get a bad reading. It's fine.
Burn that Taroka deck.
Never.
And Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
And Desmond.
Oh, hi, I'm DJ Knight. Pretty much DJ Knight everywhere. And here, I play Desmond, Human Ranger, Lycanthrope. Here for the joys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Perfect. Tatiana.
That's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Becca Scott. You can find me at the Becca Scott doing things about board games. I DM'd on my channel last Wednesday, so you can find that at Good Times Society over on YouTube's, as they call it.
I was there. It was good.
Sage was there. Sorry, I went into a black tunnel of what is happening. I'm not supposed to be in that chair. It's very scary, Dave. I don't know how you do it. Anyway, here I am, Tatiana. Tatiana is Erjanazi, barbarian, mostly druid though, because you only need so much barbarian. You are or you aren't. It's a binary of barbarian. Circle of the moon.
It is kind of a switch flip of barbarian. I will just say, insert here, Tanya DePass is off being an international superstar. She is in Amsterdam doing like high level pimp stuff. But she is in here in our hearts. Also, I should point out we will be dark next week because most of us will be at Comic-Con. But if you see me rolling around at Comic-Con, say what's up. And we have the Legends of the Multiverse game live Friday morning at 10 a.m. But last and certainly not least, you know what? Maybe you would like to make our big announcement here. Miss Valentine.
I would actually. Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage or Pixel Circus everywhere on the internet. But tonight I am playing Valentine, who is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer. And I have some exciting announcements for Valentine in particular, because Valentine is coming to Idle Champions to join the rest of the party. She will be available July 20th in game. If you would like to play as Valentine, I can confirm personally it's very fun. I get to play as her every week. It's a pretty good time. So yeah, if you're not on Idle Champions, we actually just had a bunch of friends from Idle Champions raid into the stream as well. So you'll be able to play her. You might have a little visit from Tragrum there as well. She's going to be a very fun character. And I will also be at Comic-Con, so come see me at Comic-Con.
We're very much looking forward to being a part of Idle Champions. I will be there with you, of course. Yeah, Valentine. Yes, so if for anybody keeping track, that now means Nahara, Tatiana, Valentine, and Desmond are all in Idle Champions and can join your formation.
I don't see a pattern.
What are those?
Of 6... Although, speaking of Tatiana, speaking of Idle Champions, I believe we are remiss. There is one other announcement to make that the all too humble Mr. Mark Meir did not make yet.
Oh, yes, I suppose I should have plugged Idle Champions Presents The Black Pits, which is currently running on the CNE Games Twitch. That is an adventure involving Mr. Baloth Baratil, who is a character that I have that is in Idle Champions, but I'm in the seat of the Dungeon Master this time. And guess what? Not only is Becca playing in this game, but also Mr. B. Dave Walters, our DM, is a player in this.
Yeah, I freely came back out of retirement, I got married and I kind of went all over the multiverse. And then Baloth was like, come do this thing for charity. And I was like, it's gonna be fine. And then Tatiana was there. She's so tall and her muscles are so big. It's been a great time.
I wear the onesie and purple jumpsuit and sweatbands like
it's very
you do
glow.
for fighting.
It's very glow. And you can catch the conclusion of Idle Champions Presents The Black Pits, I believe, tomorrow morning, both tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, and then they rebroadcast it at 2 p.m. Pacific. And you can catch all 3 episodes on, I believe, the Idle Champions YouTube channel or Twitch video on demand.
If memory serves, I think only one person gets swallowed, I think. Maybe? What?
Not that I can try.
2 people were swallowed.
It's all become a blur at this point, but it all works. It probably works out. I hope it works out fine. Anyway, you should tune in and see it, and you'll know what happens. Okay. But with that being said, on with today's show. in Cartacus, having come face to face with Harkon Lucas, the would-be bard and storyteller and most famous person in all the land, strangely forgotten by his own people. Only his daughter Acriel seemed to even have any real memory of him, and she was dismissive of him completely until he made his presence known. After a brief battle where Desmond had gone into combat with Archon Lucas, only to find out that perhaps even despite his newly unlocked power, he was not quite the match for the greater werewolf. All of you, having received gifts, seemingly no strings attached, that would greatly enhance your power, a new Taroka deck, literally imbued with spirits, a book of exalted deeds that included stories about you all in the times that you had gone above and beyond the call of heroism to aid each other. Tatiana with a pair of gloves that would literally allow her to extract the soul from anyone that she struck with her bare hands. Valentine, a mask imbued with the power of all manner of dragon, and Desmond having the true birthright of his power unlocked. And as you fought back, and as it became clear that while Archon Lucas was a foe greater than you anticipated, perhaps he was in fact a foe that could be defeated, with a defiant growl, he ejected you from his dread domain of Cartacus. The mist came smashing in like a tidal wave, and when they parted, you found yourself laying in a gray, featureless wasteland with no sign of Finn. What would you all like to do?
Finn?
Thanks,
Ben?
Ben.
Being a snake is sweet. Wait, Finn's missing?
Question, how is Desmond faring at the moment?
Poorly.
Ooh.
His titanic mass. Again, Desmond looks every bit as big as he did in the Feywild, which was almost incomprehensible at the time. But his massive hulking body lay cut and bleeding on the featureless ground. He is alive,
Ooh.
but he is grievously injured.
Spare the dying at distance if needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll follow that. If he is at 0 hit points, as they say, then this will do, as a grave cleric, I will do maximum healing with this. So that will be 46 points of damage are restored.
Yes, Uriah, even as you begin to reach out your hand to him, and yes, your unique connection with life and death, imbuing your healing with extra power to anyone that is so close to the brink, even as you lay your hand on him and restore his life, you also see, even afterwards, cuts on him beginning to heal and close, even as you look at them. In Desmond, you are restored to waking consciousness.
Oh, and
Hold on. I got one thing for you. Tatiana closes her eyes and focuses her energy on her palms, and you see 10 little berries appear. Eat these, Desmond. I know his thing was cool, but like, these are good for you.
you know, you could probably turn those into some sort of smoothie.
Like
I'd like
this?
to make a glaze
She
of those.
smashes them with her fist. Here
Yes,
you go,
just like that.
Desmond.
And just imagine smashing good berries with the gloves of soul catching. It's like they explode, but somehow all stay right there like a puree.
That's exactly what happens.
Desmond was happy to eat them, just also is concerned, like, I could have made a glaze with that. And then we could have smoked the brisket.
Oh, you
And
missed
good
some on my
berries.
palm here. Here you go.
Thanks. How much do the good berries heal?
They heal
One
one point
per
each,
berry.
but every time you eat a berry, you feel full and sated. It's like a meal and a berry. So the healing is minimal, but it's sustaining, fulfilling.
So basically 10 HP, but I'm absolutely stuffed.
You're a werewolf stuff, yeah.
Oh, and
Couldn't eat another pot. And how many hit points did Brother Uriah heal for?
56 total. But yes, Uriah.
I realized something. Because I'm enhanced by reading the Book of Exalted Deeds, that actually bumps me up a spell slot. So you actually got 52 from me, plus another 10.
Don't forget the 10.
So 62. And Desmond, in your lycanthropic form, you also are aware of the fact that your healing is supernaturally advanced. Some of the remaining wounds on your hide do begin to all of you can see it clearly. The claw marks, they're just stitching and knitting while you're looking at it.
Incredible.
I forgot about that, Pete. Thank you for the reminder.
A lot happened.
Are you all right, Desmond?
And Desmond changes back into normal after the last little bit of healing. Just one, he is strong, and I need to do a lot more to get better so that I can handle that. And two, I like being a whole lot bigger. It's nice.
Yes,
Really nice.
Your size is certainly prodigious. That, I assume, was your gift.
I don't like it. I'm the biggest.
But you can be whatever you want. So you can decide to be a dragon if you want, and then be the absolute biggest of everything and eat something in a bite. So I'm just a bigger wolf.
You might also get to be bigger with time.
Thank you. I will try.
Pat Tatiana's shoulder and just go, and you're the biggest in our hearts.
Undoubtedly, yes. I just wonder, has anyone seen Fen?
Fen's not here?
No.
No.
And where is here?
I'm not sure.
As you all look around, it is just gray and nondescript. It could both be anywhere, but nowhere in particular. There's not trees. The ground is just sort of barren. Nahara, as a mistwalker, you're aware you're in the mist, and yet you don't seem to currently be completely enmeshed in them.
Well, it's odd.
Finn, are you hiding? I don't think she's hiding.
I'm a little worried.
Yes.
Uriah, did it work? Hello, Uriah?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Could
Yes,
you?
yes.
It's
Who's-
very, very difficult to see here. Could you give me like a light or something?
Yes, of course. And Brother Uriah casts light upon his mace and lifts it high above his head. Does he recognize the voice?
You do. And immediately over you, you see a huge winged silhouette appear in the clouds overhead. In front of you, you all see a very large dragon. It is a pale blue with a horn that hooks to the front and to the back. Uriah, it is your old friend, Mangata, or at least he says he's your old friend.
Mangata, I'm very, very glad to see you.
Oh my goodness, it works. I managed to get all of you because that last time I didn't get Finn, and that did not go well.
You didn't get Fen this time either, Mangata, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's this time I didn't get Finn. That's this time I didn't get Finn.
Does anyone else find it suspicious that Desmond literally just said to Tatiana that she could transform into some sort of dragon, and then a giant blue dragon lands near us?
You've met Mangata, have you?
Yeah.
Times. Hey, wait.
I'm just saying the timing is odd.
I would totally turn into a dragon right now if I could, but I'm kind of snaked out.
Yeah.
Uriah, Mangata's much bigger than the last time you saw him. Like, he's grown. And he leans down and he looks at you, Valentine, and I mean, his entire head dwarfs you. And you just hear aloud, "Oh, Valentine." And he looks at the mask and he looks at you again, and you see he just recoils slightly and goes, "Oh, Valentine." It's nearly Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
No, what is that?
Okay. When are you all? Okay, because again, I experience things non-linearly. See, so it's like what is beginning, middle, and end for you all is sort of scrambled up for me. So, like, have you been to the
You arrived
Feywild
in-
yet? Did we do that? Have we done the Feywild? Is that it?
From our perspective, yes.
At
Yes.
least once.
All right, right. Okay, so we've done the Feywild, but this is the time that I didn't get Finn. That's not good. That's okay. So where are y'all coming from now?
Tartacus.
Yes. Could I ask you a question? Since you are in non-linear time, is some version of Fen all right?
I mean, most versions of Finn are all right until she's not all right. That's true of all of you. You're all good until you are not good. So,
What a cool power! Oh, can you tell future Tatiana? Did she bulk up?
you, Tatiana, give me insight with advantage.
I wasn't ready. Oh, insight.
I'll give you guidance.
Ooh, okay. Got.
To clarify, since this was some time ago, Uriah, you saw and spent time with Mangata. The rest of you saw an outline of them begin to manifest in the Feywild because they weren't physically there. This is the first time
Gotcha.
you've actually laid eyes on this thing, though. And
No,
it is
19.
19.
and
yes, you're right.
having actually spent time with Mangata and hung out a little bit, Uriah's a little unnerved by Valentine's suggestion, is also going to try an insight roll. Like, is this
Please
the
do.
person that, yeah.
Also, Uriah, you may also recall something was wrong with Mangata's eggs last time. There was something wrong with one of the hatchlings, and you didn't know what it was the last time you ran into Mangata. But yes, insight first.
And actually, using that insight and the answer to this question was, things worked out all right with your hatchlings, did they? And the result is a 32 on
This
insight.
is definitely your old friend, but older, like somewhere further along relative to their timeline. But there's absolutely something they're not saying. Tatiana, you noticed that when you were like, does future Tatiana bulk up? It very much is like I'm not supposed to say anything. Uriah, when you ask about the hatchlings, you see Mangata visibly deflates. Like, it doesn't work out with the hatchling, actually. I mean,
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Very, very, very sorry to hear it.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just if you don't already know, it's just gonna like bum you out for no reason because what's going to happen is going to happen or has happened. I don't know.
Go back and change it. Why can't you go back and change it?
Because to me it already happened. It's like, okay, all right. The last time you asked me this, Tatiana, I told you, it's like, all right, you got a book, right? You get the new Tusk Glove, right? And you skip right to the end and you read the last page because I know that's how you like to do it. And then you go back to the beginning. You can't change the last page just because you already read it.
What? Well, then what's the point of being able to jump through time?
I don't jump through time. I just live.
I see, kind of, I think.
You said that last time.
Tatiana definitely does bulk up, though. Like future. My future. Like bigger than Desmond in his new wolf form. Like big, like muscles like the moon. She's getting in this dragon's face.
You see, like, give me either perception or survival. Either one, whichever's higher, Tatiana.
Surprisingly, she's very perceptive and gives herself guidance.
Not surprising at all.
which I always forget is an option. Thank you, Nora. 15.
15. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Valentine, are you currently wearing the mask or no?
Oh yeah. I was wearing it when we got transported, so I just haven't taken it off. And I picture that it kind of like rotates to some extent of like lowering one of the heads of the dragon. So she had the red dragon face forward.
You're aware of this creature. Uriah spoke about him. Presumably, Uriah, you would have shared your experiences with Mangata, with your
Oh, yes.
and you at least witnessed it trying to manifest in the Feywild at least once. But this time, Uriah, Valentine, this is kind of like peasant. It's just like the vibe you get. Like, this thing is beneath you, Valentine. It's clearly monstrous. It's huge. It probably could wipe you out with a single gust of its breath, and you're still just like, it should know its place, though.
I would like to get closer to Mangata. Since the head's so large, I would like to just kind of like tug on Mangata's ear towards me and just go, so what was that comment about? You looked at me and you looked at the mask.
Sure.
What was that about?
See, when we talked last time, which was last time for me, but might be next time for you. Okay. All right. So, if this is when I think it is, I think this is the time that I'm supposed to ask you, Valentine, to tell me the secret words, Valentine. What are the secret words you told me to listen for? And you see, he does like rotate his head around to like one pupil is almost the size of your whole entire body. Like,
can you remind me what the words were that were written on my back?
You can beat him. It won't be long.
Okay. I suppose maybe that's next time then.
Okay. It's not time. All right. It's not time. Wait, or are you telling me that those are the magic words?
That wasn't 4 words.
Well, I didn't say it was going to be 4 words. That would be giving you a hint. I mean, it's just.
I thought you said 4
No, there was a
words.
thing that you told me that you would tell me, which is how I knew that it was time for me to tell you the thing you told me. This is very difficult. Because
then the secret words are shut up and tell me.
I mean, that is what you said the secret words were. And you see, he lifts one of his wings, and you can see underneath his wings are 6 little bundles, 6 little scrolls that have been wrapped up. He's like,
what are those?
They're for you. From you.
I definitely will reach and start taking them. And I won't open them in front of him.
As you reach for the first one, you see there is one that absolutely has the Asteria family seal on it, Valentine, pressed into it. There's one that has a wolf's tooth. There is one that is just very crumpled and like colored on with like a blue crayon. There is one that has a pearl necklace that has been wrapped around it. And there is one that is bound with a raven's feather.
I think mine's the pearl necklace.
Okay, I will pick all of them up in like a bit of a pile, and I will just go, and I left these for you.
You all left
Give to
them
me.
for you. These are from you to you. Which I don't know how that works. Are you going to write those, or like later when I see you again, are you going to give them to me? Like, doesn't that like kind of freak out the
Why don't you know
timeline?
how anything works?
Just do things. Like you guys are the weird ones to me. Okay. Okay, Uriah, every time we go through this, that I'm like, you guys are the ones that it's like, you're just kind of looking through the tunnel and I'm kind of looking at the whole landscape.
Well, as someone who's seeing the big picture, perhaps you could be honest.
Mhm.
Something terrible happens to us, doesn't it? The way you're talking.
Read the letters.
I distribute them out to everyone.
We've already faced down death. We have confronted many Dark Lords. What more could ever happen to us?
Question,
If you-
is there a letter for Fen as well?
There is a letter for Finn.
Perhaps one of us should put that in safekeeping then.
Oh, can we read it?
If you exist in all times, how are you able to? Did you always have those letters with you? How could you only have them for a time if you're always? I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, it's better that you don't ask.
Well, it's
You know what's
obvious.
funny? You know what's funny? You said that last time, or is it next time?
Did
No.
I?
But
It was this
I have a
time.
headache
I
thinking about
think
It
it
was
this.
this time.
it is possible for Mangata to perhaps not experience linear time, but certainly undergo changes much bigger than when last I saw him.
No,
I think
that's true.
Hmm.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
I suppose we should look at these letters from ourselves.
Everyone's
Right.
bulking up but
Let-
me.
Let me just ask: is there anyone who does not read their letter?
Oh, I'm reading my letter.
Reading is hard for
feel-
me.
Feel free to talk amongst yourselves for a moment, as I'm going to send you individually what your letter says. Whether or not you choose to share that with the group is completely up to you. So please feel free to
So-
talk amongst yourselves.
Uriah looks down at his letter, sees everyone else holding them in their hands. It's rather momentous, I suppose, to receive a message from your future self.
I am a little tired of receiving messages from myself.
I'm somewhat trepidatious as well. Once we've opened these, there's certainly no unknowing what's inside. I suppose that there is a spell that could erase our memories, but I mean, in a larger sense.
So, Uriah, are you saying that if we do read these letters, and that if knowing what you know, should we not like the outcome, is there nothing we can do about it?
Well, the metaphysics of speaking to one's past self is not something that I firmly grasp, but I would think that allowing for the possibility that there are multiple timelines, I really don't know.
Whatever's in there, I can't imagine. I just don't have a good feeling about it, is all. It must be
Yes.
something urgent if it's caused us to have to write to ourselves.
Yes. This is probably not the best time, but there's something important I need to talk to you about, Nahara, when we have a moment. But yes, first things first, I suppose.
Tatiana just starts like actively fiddling with all of her bag.
Mhm.
Not making eye contact with anyone.
Mhm.
Oh dear. Uriah looks somewhat ashen, having read his. He seals it back up.
You're right, brother. You're right.
Yes. Bit cryptic, really, but
Hey, you all keep saying something about spoilers, because it's like, I mean, to me, all this stuff has happened. Like, you can't change any of it, but you were worried that if you said the wrong thing, you might make yourselves do the wrong thing. So you just wanted to give yourself like a hint. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
yes. Yes.
Mine doesn't sound like me. Honestly, I think it's impossible that it was written by me.
That's what you said. Oh, Tatiana though. Tatiana. Yeah. Serious gains. Yeah. 100%.
They're coming?
Yeah.
Because I will be working.
Or they're already here. Yes.
I mean, both can be true.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just tell you all mine. It says, not every problem has to be solved by violence.
That does not sound like you.
That
I
does
know,
not sound
that's
like you at
also
all.
what it says.
That sounds like it was written in distress.
It
Although-
sounds like someone was maybe torturing future Tatiana and made her write this.
Well, say the second line there, because there is another. Or do you intentionally not share the other line?
I know. I didn't believe me either when I read this.
For the record, do you show them this, Tatiana? Do you just read it, or
Yeah.
do you show it? It's super
I sh-
Tatiana's handwriting. It's all misspelled exactly the way she talks.
That's a very creative way to spell violence. It looks more like violins.
I
But
spelled it using flowers. I think it makes more sense.
And there's definitely good berry juice smudged on it.
They're delicious.
Mangata does
I
lean
just-
down. He's like, did you happen to have any of those? Because it is kind of like, it's weird. It's like a little berry, but then like I don't need to eat for, I don't know. How does that even work? I'm not sure, but they are very yummy when you let me have them.
do you mean to tell me a good berry can even fill a dragon's stomach?
I mean, I
Amazing.
usually eat like a couple of them, but yeah, no, it's wild. It's the craziest thing.
And
I feel like
Very
I'm just
good
gonna go in
berries.
and be like, boom, boom, boom.
Tatiana casts Goodberry into her hand again and then
Yes.
smashes them.
His tongue lashes out in like across your palm and like all the way up your face. Tatiana like lifts you onto your tippy toes. He's like,
That tickles.
oh, sorry. No, that's so good. That's so good. So good. So good. Oh, you see, he like turns and he looks in a direction, and he's like, "Okay, it's time for the next part." So, listen.
The next.
Yes. So, yes, Nahara.
Is anyone else going to read this?
Desmond is just like closing his because he was reading it and just. I think I like mine. It
Well, if anyone would care to share.
Oh, I'm cool with sharing this. Apparently, I tell me to stop trying to please everyone and be the alpha I was meant to be.
That's really
That's
nice of you to
lovely.
write to you.
Yes. Yes.
That makes so much sense too, because after that, seeing how much bigger I am when I want to be, easy game. And Desmond just like rubs his hands, just. Thanks, me.
You are very intimidating. I like it.
Appreciate it.
Nahara unfolds hers and reads it to herself for a moment, looks up to meet Uriah's gaze and reads aloud. You're finally free. I don't know what comes when we die, but Strahd will never have us.
It's wonderful news. Wonderful.
Isn't it saying you're going to die?
That's the part that troubles me.
Well, I meant the freedom part, not the dying part, but
Also, it says when, it doesn't say soon. We're all going to die.
Right?
It doesn't
All things
necessarily say
end.
like urgently or impendingly.
Exactly. So maybe it's not bad. Maybe
well,
it's all good.
well, no, it's wonderful, don't you see? That's been hanging over our heads this entire time. Whether he would return, whether Strahd was truly gone forever.
Well, didn't say that he was truly gone, but it means that he will never have us at least. By
Yes.
us. I don't know what it means by us.
Yes.
If it's us or if it's multiple me us.
Oh, yes, I suppose it could be that. But still,
But in any case, it's promising at least.
a bit of a ray of sunshine.
Yes. I do wish Fen were here.
As well.
Mangata says, "Oh, I get it. You guys, you don't. It's not just that you haven't seen me. You don't remember seeing me. Oh, okay. Okay, so
I do. I remember. We had a good time. We flew around and.
no, but okay, like no, but like Tatiana doesn't remember wrestling, and like Desmond doesn't remember like us going through the forest, and like Nahara and Valentine is like much harder. Like Valentine, whenever you and I talk, just that thing in the sky is always staring at us, and then that's weird because it's like we don't have any privacy, and then like
Yes, welcome to my life.
he sort of like looks at you for a second, Nahara, and says, I remember falling, but now that he's gone, what do you see?"
I see. When I rest, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been so long since we've actually rested. I'm not sure.
You see, he sort of kind of like furrows his brow a little bit, and then he just sort of scratches the side of his head, and you notice when he does, a couple of his scales come loose, and he goes, oh, okay, all right, take these, keep these, take these, everybody take them, everybody get a scale, you get it, you got
Ooh,
it, yeah.
so shiny.
When you sleep, just put that under your pillow, and I'll come see you. Like I come see you in your dreams all the time, but apparently you don't remember that. So maybe like now when you like want me to come visit, that's what I do. I'd like Moonstone Dragon. I'm like a dream dragon. Remember? That's how many
very
times
sweet.
I have to explain this to you guys like a lot, by the way. That's how it works with me. It's harder with Nahara and Valentine because you guys like don't sleep, but that's okay because it's like it's worth making the trip for you guys.
Mangata, you said we needed to move on somewhere, yes?
No, I need to move on because I don't. The next part was no.
Well,
Yeah.
What?
before this next part happens, my message from myself has only strengthened my resolve to pose a question that I have been mulling for some time. Nahara, might I have a word with you just over here in this sort of patch of the gray?
You see his head comes down right in between the two of you, and he's like, "So not clear. Does that am I supposed to stay for your question? Am I leaving? What was the
You're gonna want to stay.
I just need to speak to Nahara first before. I've been warned against making this a public event, so very good advice, by the way. Nahara, could I just speak to you over here for a moment?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Wrestle.
Actually, Mangata, could you hold up a wing or something just for a little privacy?
You do see when she says wrestle, he turns and rears back like he's gonna pounce on her like a 6,000-pound cat. But then when you say wing, he's like, oh, hang on, right. And Tatiana, he does put one claw down on your head to hold you back like a little kid. Extends one wing over
Training.
Nahara and Uriah.
Nahara, perhaps I should just, you see Uriah gets down on one knee in front of you. And he starts frantically looking around. I had it here, here we are, yes.
What are you doing?
Nahara. Would you do me the very great honor of accepting my proposal of marriage? And he holds forth an intricately crafted ring with a black diamond at its center. This was my uncle, Uncle Sus, Piran. He very kindly provided this for me, though certainly my personal wealth is not reflected by this gift. I think you know that.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Here, just there we are. And
I don't know what to say.
you've already said something that's made me happier than I've ever been in my life.
This is
I'm sorry.
day of my life.
I didn't want to risk anything else. I would have preferred a more romantic setting than a blank grey void. But
Oh my goodness! Please stand up! Please stand up!
Yes. Yes.
The moment you say I would have preferred something other than a blank gray void, Mangata begins to glow, and purplish greenish sparkles just float up everywhere, like illuminating all of you. And you see like tears are coming down from their eyes. They're like, she said yes.
Can we pretend we're not listening and that we are listening now?
Yes. I'm sorry, everyone. I just Tatiana gave me some very, very useful advice. I had been thinking about doing it on stage in Kartakas, and then I remembered what Tatiana told me that would be a terrible, terrible idea. And
You did so good, religion, man.
You're engaged.
I throw him over my shoulder.
Oh.
Good job.
Yes, thank you.
And as Uriah's over Tatiana's shoulder, she like grabs Uriah's face and kisses him.
Thank you. Desmond. I wonder if you would stand by me when the time comes to be my best man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a little overcome.
Uriah, when you say that and you're all there happy, Uriah, out of the corner of your eye, just the very edge of your perception, you see a winged form coalesce in the mist and just nod slowly and then dissipate.
Oh, did it? Never mind.
What?
I think our union will be blessed.
Is that what I think it means?
I already know that I couldn't be happier than I am right now. Nahara, I love you, and I know that perhaps we enter very dangerous territory, but I did not wish to delay. I wanted to ask you as soon as I could.
You've made me the happiest person in this entire existence. No matter what happens, good or bad, I will always stand by you.
And are you? Well, I'm sorry, everyone. I've derailed everything, haven't I?
We were just standing in the void. It's fine.
It's fine. We'll have to make some sort of arrangements for some proper celebrations once we're not in a void.
Yes, something a little more festive, yes.
You see Mangata sort of lets go and stands up and just sort of looks at all of you and says, the wedding it's very beautiful.
Spoilers.
I'll see you there. And just beats his wings.
Oh, yes, you're invited, of course.
Goes off. Descends till you see nothing. And there's still
Uriah immediately turns to Nahara and says, I am so sorry. I realized that we should probably clear any wedding invitations with each other. I just sort of assumed Mangata would be.
Sorry, she's like staring at her ring.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
right.
Sorry.
Yes, no.
While you all are standing there taking this in, Valentine, you hear Tragrum pipe up and says, oh dear. Oh, that's where we are. Oh, okay. Right. Sure. Great. Okay.
Where are we?
Okay. So, You know how you're the single greatest creation of the almighty Godbrain, all hail the Godbrain, right?
And I know how you're wasting my time. Go on.
Well, not every experiment goes quite according to plan. And they can't, and well, although many of them are allowed to roam the endless wastes of Blue Spur, sometimes some things are so volatile that they need to be deposited elsewhere. Here and elsewhere.
So you're telling me other creations, other attempts to make something like me?
Yeah, well, there is, of course, nothing like you, Valentine. But other attempts at doing things, yes.
How many of them?
I mean, aren't things like time and space and number an illusion? I don't actually know.
You don't even have a ballpark number? Are there dozens? Are there hundreds? Are there thousands of them, Tragrum?
Well, I mean, the almighty Godbrain, of course, has not failed hundreds or dozens of times. No, probably just like 6, 18 more. Probably.
Are they dangerous?
Oh, yes, unquestionably. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been cast into elsewhere, Valentine.
Why are we here?
Well, I don't know. You weren't in Cartacus, and then now you're not. I was hoping you'd tell me why you were there.
I don't know how we got here, as I don't ever know how we got anywhere.
Not that I was looking when you read your letter. I just sort of see everything you see. That is how I see.
I am fully aware of my lack of privacy, Tragrum.
You want to talk about that?
I don't think that I need to. You're inside my head.
Well, you know, it's something that I've learned from you is that I don't necessarily have to just instantly divulge everything to the almighty Godbrain. Perhaps it will slip my mind to report back what I read. But it was perhaps simply a work of fiction, a haiku that you sent yourself. I didn't know you were such a talented poet, Valentine.
Thank you, Tragrum.
Mm-hmm.
Poetry is a new passion of mine.
You are, of course, ascension of many skills. You never cease to impress. Although you probably should be careful. I don't want to disturb the delightful, pleasant mood, but I think something far worse than me may be about to.
Yeah, Tragrum, just so you're aware, going forward, should you decide to take up any creative hobbies, creative writing, poetry, anything of the sort, I encourage it as our secret.
I appreciate that, Valentine. I've never aspired to anything greater than serving you, but perhaps I will look at ways that I might expand myself.
I believe in you.
You feel a wave of uncharacteristic warmth that go through you from that you know it comes from Tragrum and stops just as quickly. That even it's almost like they blushed. Like, Well then, having done my part, I shall now silence myself. Thank you, Valentine.
Whatever freedom means, we'll get it. Sorry, please.
I went up to Valentine. Did you hear the news?
Oh, yes. I'm going to be honest, Tatiana, just because you didn't tell me doesn't mean it wasn't all over your face. I don't ever dip into your thoughts without asking, but I also most of the time don't have to.
But I worked so hard to not tell you.
You did
It was
an
really
excellent
hard.
job.
I wanted to tell you. I don't know if that part was clear.
That was also very clear.
Is
Tatiana.
everything all right?
Well, one, I think we're probably in grave danger, as the dragon that just left was saying something to the effect of, I don't want to be here for what happens next. Two, the worm inside my brain is speaking to me also about whatever comes and happens next being in great danger. And three, we're leaving messages for ourselves about whatever this great danger is, including the one carved into my back.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for that. You
Still
bear a
mad you told me to
responsibility.
do that, even though I don't
I'm
remember
sorry,
it.
Ben. Tatiana, I think we're about to be in very great danger, and it makes it hard to stop and enjoy, I suppose.
Wait, what was the note that you wrote to yourself?
And I'll take it back out of my bag and like quietly to Tatiana, just say, it says freedom is worth any price. Any price.
That's heavy. Because the thing in your brain and all.
It is. But know that I will fight the rest of my life for both of our freedom.
Same for me. And Tatiana pulls down her leather gloves and says, I'm very conflicted. What you're saying tells me we need to get ready to fight. And that makes me filled with great rage. And yet my note here, I pull out a crumpled note from between my corset, says not to use violence.
Maybe that will apply here. So maybe we prepare the violence and hold back until it's needed.
You got it, boss. And I
Future
rage.
you is very intelligent and using it to warn you to proceed with caution. Also, hey, there's probably something like 16 other versions of things like me with failed worm brains around here that are extremely hostile. So should there need to be violence, I actually encourage it.
Wait a minute, they look like you?
And she says that like pretty loudly. Everyone can hear that. That's perfectly fine. I don't think that they'll look like me, but they may well function somewhat like me. I don't know.
Sorry,
So-
where exactly are we?
I was told we are elsewhere.
We're elsewhere. All right.
Elsewhere with a capital E?
No, we're right here.
Unspecified.
No.
So just to be clear, you are perfectly okay with what happens to these other versions.
Absolutely. Do
I'm
whatever you must
not.
to survive.
Wait a
Again,
minute.
they're not me.
But they look
Tatiana,
like you.
I don't think
Wait.
that they will even look like me. Look,
Wait.
the way that I was created, there's not abundances of me to create from. It's just other
Oh.
people that were attempting
the
to be.
Other
I
people that the
see.
god brain attempted to do
Yes.
what they did to you. Oh, right, I see.
The moment Valentine says that, each of your minds, there's the quickest flash of being mind flayers lowered into the apparatus alongside Valentine.
huh.
Valentine, if you're all, forgive me, I'm not entirely sure how all of this works, but are we able to get rid of, for lack of better terms, these other things without hurting you?
I don't think that we're connected, as far as I know. I will let you know if you hit one of them and it hurts, but I have no reason to believe that it will.
All right.
What I will say is, if they were easy to kill, they wouldn't have been sent here. They would have simply been handled.
Right. Please let us know so that in the worst case, we know how to at least get out of there.
Oh, yes, if we attack them and it causes you any distress, of course, let us know.
Thank you. And congratulations to you both.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Valentine.
B-Day.
Tatiana's just punching the ground because she's already raging and doesn't know how to talk
No,
once
that's
that begins.
The game mechanic question. We are fully attuned to all the gifts that we received, yes?
It should have taken longer, but something about the nature of Cartacus, or perhaps it was simply the will of Harkon Lucas. Whatever time requirement was waived.
In that case, Uriah pulls out the Book of Exalted Deeds, which suddenly shimmers and dissolves into glowing sparkles and vanishes. I've gained what I can from it, and it now must move on to someone else in need.
What was that, Uriah? I mean, what did it do?
So much. I haven't fully absorbed what happened to me, though I have absorbed its lessons. It's part of me now. That seems to be the way it works. I just know that intuitively, and it's gone to help someone else now.
So it's not physically there, but you're able to recall
Oh,
the
yes.
book as you need?
The aura, the halo begins to glow around him again. Yes.
The moment the halo begins to glow, all of you hear
Oh, dear. Hello?
I can't put out that light.
All right. We'll just dim it down a little bit as it sort of contracts around Uriah.
Again, to all of you, it is a warm, comforting glow. Valentine, it still kind of sucks. It doesn't hurt, but it's like an unwanted hug. But it's not harmful to you.
I was muted. That's why. Can we see the thing the voice is coming from?
Nope. Although, all of you give me a perception check.
Give myself advantage.
18.
I mean, not advantage, guidance. I wish I could give myself advantage.
That is a nat 20 with Uriah's bonuses. That's a 36.
Uriah, radar goes out, Uriah. 36. Again, 30 is godlike success. We'll chalk it up to the Book of Exalted Deed, Uriah.
There's definitely a bonus from that.
You become aware of a few things, Uriah, as you reach out. Valentine is correct. There are a dozen or more, actually, with that 36, I would say there are exactly 16 other things. Most of them are not near you. You sense one building anywhere, and the source of this voice is in the direction of the building. It is not at the building, but it's in the direction of the building. And it's the same direction when Mangata turned their head and said, "Oh, it's almost time. I've got to go." That away is where whatever this is talking to you. The other 15 are some distance.
Uriah just quickly calls out all this information. It's like 16 of them. This was sort of structure, I think, ahead where Mangata was looking, and I think that's where the voice is coming from.
Tatiana already took off sprinting because she got a 19.
It's with a 19 when you go running in that direction, Tatiana. Give me a wisdom save. You're pretty good at this, but let's see.
16.
Tatiana, as you're running, all of you hear, Tatiana, you stop. And just stand there, mad, but compelled not to go any further. You all see this. You see Tatiana run, you hear it, and she stops like she hit a wall.
Tatiana, you
I want to run.
but you can't.
Well, it's not.
I'm going to cast.
This doesn't have to be unpleasant. I think we can help each other.
Suggestion does not say that you have to see the creature. It is unspecified, actually. And I even have mass suggestions, so it could be up to 12 creatures.
Let's see. You can see within range. They can hear and
the
understand
mass
you.
suggestion does have that, but
Right.
regular suggestion.
At least where I'm reading
did
it,
not.
the first line, it does say you have to be able to see it. Oh, well, what'd you get on that perception
Okay.
check?
I had 18.
Hey, you make out just a mass, Valentine. It's difficult to say even with an 18, but you're aware that there's something that is there-ish. I would put it within range of suggestion if you so chose.
Yeah, I'm just going to cast regular suggestion. I'm just going to say, show yourself.
What is your current save DC?
My save DC is, I have too many tabs open, 17.
Right. And what kind of save is that? I apologize.
Suggestion is a wisdom save. Let's see if these things are particularly wise.
It does not make the save. Excellent. Give me just 1 second here. When you make this known, it just says,
You want to see my pretty face? You can. But like I said, it doesn't have to get violent.
and
So
up
we're
in
told.
front of you, you all see something truly terrible appear out of the mist. It is
Oh no.
lumpy and misshapen. It is floating but chained to the ground and oozing out of multiple eyes and orifices. As
Oh, no.
my very, very favorite monster, the Sibriax,
Nope.
appears. It is
No.
stinking, oozing, terrible.
Are you a creation of the God Brain?
Yeah. And I think, so are you.
You're correct.
You see, you hear the chains groan and stretch as it sort of moves against them, rubbing against its horrible flesh and making it ooze even more.
It seems.
In Valentine, now you hear this in your head.
But you and I have a common foe. We should be allies. Mm.
I would think that being created by the God Brain would have made you smart enough to know it can listen.
Ah. You were smart enough to know if I was so easy to kill, I'd be dead already.
And when it starts to laugh, even though it is talking in Valentine's head, it's multiple mouths and they all laugh and jolt at the same time.
Sorry, I was being rude. I was talking to my cousin, sister. What are we doing, Valentine? If
Absolutely
we share a
nothing.
creator.
Were you created initially by the God Brain? Did you have a form before this?
Yes, I existed before.
Were you this gross before?
I think I'm perfect.
Did you look like this before? Or did the God Brain do this to you? Were you humanoid? Were you like me?
No. I wasn't burdened by all those legs and arms like the rest of you. The God Brain wanted me to heal. There were limits to even my great power. It's going to die. It's going to die. I hope you hear me.
How long ago?
When is it? Did anyone tell me the day or hour or season?
No. B-Dave, do we know at least the season?
Honestly, the season's different everywhere you go. You think just based on the amount of times you've slept, you all have been here maybe 3 months, but remember at the carnival they told you it'd been 5 years, so just laid end to end, you think you've probably been here about 3 months.
Is the time question something he says out loud, or?
Oh yeah, that part. After it started laughing, everything else it had said where you could all hear it.
Then Nahara will be like, "It's the day we got engaged."
Oh, yes.
You see, it sinks down slightly in this gross approximation of a curtsy,
Congratulations. Perhaps I could fashion you a wedding gift. You there,
Oh, that's all
skinny
right.
man.
No,
Would you like
that's-
wings as well?
no, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
He
Very
just
generous.
asked- Did he just ask you if you wanted wings?
Yes, I don't think.
Many wonder. Yes, would any of you like wings?
Are you able to do that?
When it says it, you see wings come out of its back that look just like yours, Nahara. In the midst of this fleshy horribleness, two perfect black raven wings extend and fold onto its back.
Hold on, you're
How are
telling
you
us
able to
you
do that?
can look like anything and you choose to look like this?
Thick class suits looks perfect, yes.
Oh, you're slobber.
Would you
I
like to
appreciate
look
the self-confidence.
Like me? Fair of confidence, Janafi.
No, definitely not.
Everyone, if we could have a moment. To him, just
Absolutely, I'm not going anywhere.
It says as it sort of like pulls against the chains.
I'll usher everyone away. Honestly, I needed a break from the voice and the spit.
It's a lot of spit.
I don't think I'm capable of vomiting anymore, and I'm grateful. I thought we would have to come here and harm these things, but they don't seem to want to harm us, or at least this one doesn't.
What?
Maybe it's because it's chained, but it is chained, so I don't
Yeah.
see what there is to worry about.
What exactly does it want,
Let me
Valentine?
just insert one other thing that I'm going to tack on to that 36 from before, Uriah. You notice, although there's not really vegetation as such, in roughly 30 feet around this thing, there is just a swath where everything is broken and cracked and burned. Like, just everything around it is just ruined where it's chained.
It could have hurt us if it wanted to.
Why is it chained?
Can I try a religion roll?
Absolutely.
It is a fiend, right? I assume that much like
Yeah.
the Catholic Church, Church of Ezra probably has some demonologists or diabolicists.
Well, let's see what that religion comes back with. Let's see if this is something.
Okay, so that is a 15 on the die, so 21 total.
You have heard tell of a kind of demon known as a Sibriax. It wasn't lying. It is capable of warping flesh and altering features, but it usually does so in terrible ways just to mess with things, to make, to please itself. But what you do know, as a demon, it is a creature of chaos, not necessarily a creature of law like a devil would be. But it is very intelligent and it is very powerful, and it is capable of mutating you against your will if it so chooses.
I'll fill everyone in on that. And
Mhm.
also, it's like, now, as far as I know, these things are creatures of the abyss, but you say this one was created by the god brain, yes?
Well, I don't know that it was originally created by the god brain. I wasn't.
True. So it could be a demon that the god brain pressed into its service.
Yeah, I believe that is the case.
And made more powerful?
Hmm.
That's what it did to me. So
This thing is imprisoned?
You
it
all
vanished to some extent.
see what looks like a crab, almost the size of a person. The first other living thing you've seen go crawling by, and the Sibriax whips around and sees it, goes and spits a glob that hits it and just burns a hole into the ground and just sorry, continue speaking. I've got all the time in the world. Sorry.
Yes, of course, you do you.
Yeah,
Yes,
I crab. I can't reach it. Take it as it.
No, it's
Welcome
fine.
to-
I don't think it's quite as helpless as we might think.
I don't think it's helpless at all.
Hmm.
I agree. You're absolutely correct. That thing is extremely powerful, but what can't be controlled is, I guess, sent here.
Yes.
I want to go look in the hole where the crab was. Is there a roast crab in there?
Fiona.
So basically, imagine if a crab got hit center mass by acid, so like the edges of its legs are essentially still there. Like it just like burned a hole into the ground, but did leave some crab leg tips, basically.
I'm gonna reach down and grab him and say, "Did you want this?" And I'm gonna toss him in the air towards the thing.
When you toss it over, you see it sort of like narrows its eyes and looks at you and says,
You come so close. Aren't you afraid that I'll spit my poison on you as well?
No, I'm not afraid.
one of the mouths at the bottom opens up and a long purple tongue comes and wraps up the crab legs and pulls them in, and you just
Tatiana slowly backs. No problem.
I'm
Uriah,
gonna step away. Sorry, please go ahead.
sorry, just quickly, Uriah, do you know anything about how true to their word these creatures might be?
Oh, well, that's the thing. I mean, devils, at least, might be bound somewhat by their word. They are lawful creatures, after all. But, I mean, demons, they're chaos and evil incarnate. I mean, one might keep its word if it felt like it. But certainly, as a rule, they tend to be liars and terrible murderers and etc., etc.
Are you attempting to keep your voices low where it won't hear you, or are you just kind of talking normally?
Oh, I assumed we were doing
I
the
was
message.
assuming we were
You're
doing the.
okay, that's cool. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
the
do it
psychic
all
link.
I'll have opened up a group chat.
I'm prepared to presuppose that is what this happened.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
no. If we were speaking aloud, Uriah would be much more complimentary and
Got it.
couching this in much more flattering terms.
Got it.
After he says that, I'm going to step away and I'm gonna contact Tragrum really quick. And I'm gonna go, hey, Tragrum, can you do me a strange favor?
Anything, as always. I literally live to serve. Yes.
Music or something. Fill my head with something. Something loud.
Oh, am I running interference?
Do
Absolutely.
something.
Uh,
And I'll take if I can have like a utensil or something in the satchel that I carry around. I'm going to take out that note again. And without looking at it, I'm going to scribble a note that I cannot look at. And I am doing my best to just loudly be thinking the sounds that Tragrum is making.
Okay, there would be 99 worms that literally live to serve, 99 worms that literally live to serve, take one down, but you'll never be free from me ever, 98 worms that literally live to serve. Valentine, give me performance at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Well, you give me performance or a sleight of hand, but at disadvantage, because the whole point is you're trying not to look at it. So,
That's okay. I will take performance. And
Mhm.
on the die, I rolled a 17 and a 16.
hey,
So
then yes,
that
you-
makes
you
it a
succeed.
dirty 20 because I have a +4 to performance.
Perfect. You absolutely are able to write exactly what you intend.
Okay, great. So then I will curl up the note before looking at it, and I will pass it to. I'll go. Tragrum, you can stop. Thank you.
Literally never be free of me ever. At 99 4. Oh, right. Yeah.
Is
okay,
that a
sure.
song from
Hmm?
your childhood?
I literally came into existence when we first spoke, so I guess I'm still in my childhood after a minute.
Horrifying. Don't say anymore.
Oh.
And then I'm going to pass the note to Brother Uriah.
Uriah opens it up. What does it say? What does the note say?
The note says, the god brain is dying. These creatures may be our only chance to beat it.
I see.
Just to like really clarifying, like underlined what he had said, the god brain is dying. And then under it, it also says, it hears what I hear. It sees what I see.
Right. Gotcha. Uriah will just tuck that note away.
Brother Uriah, please, thank you. I would love your feedback on that. I've been working on poetry as of late. I've taken up the craft.
Yes.
Now's
I
not a
like the
great
first
time for
stanza.
poetry.
The first stanza is particularly good.
I fancy myself a bit of a sculptor, really.
Mm. Oh,
Hey,
God.
what was your
We are in
name?
fact related, Valentine.
Great
What was your-
sculpting of the crab.
Oh, what's my name? It might be a little hard for you to pronounce.
And it just lets out a horrifying flatulence from its multiple orifices.
Let me try and pronounce that. Is it like this?
I like you for nothing.
I'll call you garbage.
Would you like some larger muscles by chance, nothing?
No, thank you. I'm good.
Just imagine the prodigious hulking might I could bestow upon you.
I'm plenty hulking. I'm hulking. I'm hulked out.
And what about you, Lycanthrope? Imagine if you didn't even have to transition. Imagine if you could just keep the width of a man with all of your powers all the time.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good. We're all.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We're good.
Thanks for asking, though. That's very kind of you.
You are.
Since we're having a bit of a family reunion, where are the rest?
You see, it turns and it looks right at you, Uriah, and it goes,
The holy man knows.
Yes. There's one over there. One over there. One over there. There's 16. I believe it's including this one. So, yes.
Are you all chained in place?
No, but we sort of have an understanding. We kind of keep to ourselves. Although I gotta tell you, you don't want to see some of the other ones. The god brain sort of pushed it at times.
Nahara kind of does, so she wants to see what she could see with scrying. True sight.
no, give me a wisdom save.
Uh-oh. This can't be good. Let's see what I have to add. Okay, cool. Dirty 20.
You do open up with scrying, and you immediately shut it off. You're aware there are 16 of them. Uriah's correct, but they're terrifying. They're twisted and misshapen, claws, tentacles, things that probably once were mind flayers, some things that were maybe once people. Many of them have wings. It's just twisting, eldritch things that are made out of literal star matter. It's just horror after horror after horror. And what the Sibriax said is right. They are almost equally spaced in this place.
All right, well, I'm never doing that again.
Yes. There's some things best left under the cover of mist, I think. What exactly does our friend... I might be pronouncing this wrong, but our friend...
I figure we could just call him garbage.
Yes, what does... Poopy? We could call him Poopy.
Do you have a
For
nickname?
the first.
I'm literally right here. With all of
Yes,
those
to your face,
appellations are
I'm letting you
correct.
know it would be easier to refer to you as garbage.
Mm.
Is that okay?
If that's the worst thing that happens to me today, I'll be doing all right.
And it
So,
goes and coughs up some of the crab shells onto the ground.
Oh.
what exactly does Mr. Garbage want of us?
The same as my sister cousin here.
Your sister cousin.
That's not really the best way to describe it.
Okay, just my sister then. Don't you think
A
that
cousin
family
is probably better.
resemblance-
And when it says the family resemblance, tentacles just like Valentine's come out of its eyes and around its mouth. And just reach for nothing in particular and then retract.
Charming.
Here is the accord I'm willing to forge. Let me out. I'll return to Lucifer and wreak havoc. At least until I get caught again and cast back out. Maybe, just maybe, if you ask nicely, I might even bring some of the others with me as well. Wait a second.
Valentine, you feel it pressing on your mind. Last time it just started talking to you. So this is the closest thing it can do to knocking and asking permission.
If I have any control over it, I allow it in, like, essentially the equivalent of the doorway, holding the door.
The mental vestibule.
Yeah. You're not making it past the entryway, if you will.
This is what you hear it ask you. And you have every indication that, for lack of a better word, it does essentially wait just inside the mudroom of your mind this time.
And I will look in some of his eyes, and I will go, and I'll just kind of like make this like, are you asking me to betray that which made me? I would never.
It just sort of shifts in its chains, and it says,
It would just be a real shame if I were somehow mistakenly unchained. Listen,
I would never allow it.
and you see it, all of its mouths kind of growl at you, and it says,
holy man, I think you understand my nature yet.
Well, one doesn't like to judge. We've only just met, but I suppose.
I'm evil. I'm untrustworthy. But I'm also selfish. If doing what I say I'll do and keeping my word will earn my freedom, I'm smart enough to do it.
Yes, I suppose you might be.
It's unfortunate, sister. We could not reach an accord.
That's because I am not like you.
No one is like me.
And I look to Brother Uriah and I go, I've moved on to my poetry now. I no longer need this. And you can tell it like pains her to say that she's doing something artistic. And she just goes, so please deal with this wretched thing, this wretched traitor, in fact, for me.
I don't think these hostile environs agree with you, Lady Valentine. Perhaps you should proceed to the building. You might find fairer places to rest your weary feet.
Reach out and I just kind of like squeeze on Brother Uriah's arm and I just go, sorry to put this on you.
Yes, of course.
I trust your help.
Yes, we should move on then.
Yes.
With you having soundly rejected this traitorous offer.
Since you're so effective against this type of wretched creature, I can usher the rest of them forward while you finish your prayer.
Of course.
I'm so confused.
Well,
I'm just gonna usher Tatiana.
Yeah, I'll just push Tatiana, like lock arms and be like, I will explain it to you.
My rage faded.
here it said, I will not forget this treachery. And it sprays its poison right at all of you, revealing you're very much in range and yet misses. Flying past, hitting the ground between your feet.
Rah! I've gone rusty in my captivity. Rah!
And you hear the acid burning the ground all around you. But each of you is unharmed.
Right then.
That makes
Shall
me
we?
very angry.
Okay.
Do you all
Why you-
move on? Oh, yes, Desmond.
Yes.
That's why you so mad though.
As they move on, Uriah, do you move on or do you do something different?
Uriah will stay He will linger briefly and wait till Valentine. He's pretty sure Valentine is out of earshot.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of earshot and out of sight.
I go with Valentine.
I'm going to stay close by, not extremely close to Uriah, but within that I could step in if needed.
Perfect.
And before joining the others, Uriah will turn back to Mr. Garbage and say, if it is revenge you want, then rest assured, Valentine is your best chance of getting it. She does not labor under the yoke of the God Brain happily. I know this. And what's more, I believe she's tenacious enough to see this through.
You see just one of its eyes narrows and looks at you and just looks down at the chains and looks back up at you.
And Brother just, backs off, keeping eye contact with it, says, hold until we have a better lay of the land, and we shall return.
No. Do it now. You may not be capable of returning.
I'm not sure if this will work. As Brother Uriah points to it and just says, back to the abyss that spawned you, and casts Banish.
What is the save for it?
Under his current augmented DC 19. So it should theoretically banish it from this domain.
Nahara, you see it says in bits in Uriah's face. And vanishes. And that's a good place for us to take a little break.
Oh no, does it
Gonna
hurt?
do a quick 10, and we will come back to find out what happens to our
I'm so
fair
sorry.
cleric.
I hope you did.
And we are back. Nahara, you have seen the Sibriax before it disappeared spit violently in Uriah's face and see him fall to the ground. What would you like to do?
Okay. I guess it's too late for that, but I will run over to Uriah. Uriah, you all right?
Am I all right? Do I need a saving throw?
When he looks at you, his eyes are jet black. Pupil, the whites, all of it, midnight black. However, Uriah, you can see a tremendous distance, much further than you could before with your mortal eyes, as you have been given dark vision out to 120 feet.
Oh.
Do you feel okay? Does it hurt?
I can see, I think I can see in the dark.
Really?
Yes.
You are covered with very sticky, stinky, acrid goo.
Can I prestidigitate that away?
Easily.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it felt similar to opening your eyes underwater in a pool, but beyond that, it didn't hurt.
Oh.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
I thought you were going to end up like that crab.
Yes, so did I for a moment there.
I would just like the record to show I really did roll on the table of things the Sibriax is capable of doing, and I was fully prepared to have it be something jank, and fate decided that you get dark vision.
Oh.
Don't put an engagement in my face and then turn him into like the crab things.
Don't you still love him if he was a crab?
I would absolutely, Nahara would absolutely still love him in any animal form that he might take.
You know, crabs are the end of evolution for all of us anyway. So yes, that fate decided dark vision.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Valentine, Desmond, and probably a still confused Tatiana, as you walk a little ways, you see a building. It is gray with white frosted doors. It's the only structure you've seen here, and it looks somewhat out of place. Like it might have fit in one of the more metropolitan areas that you've been to, like Darkon or Lamortia, but it's just sitting here by itself. And out front, there is a sign that says the Vage Agency, Vhage. And with a little placard that says open.
Is this like Cartacius? There's an agent. Am I reading this right? Desmond, you don't want an agent, do you?
What?
An agent.
No. I'm just torn because every time somebody says not to do a thing, I just have this thing of wanting to do it. So when something says open here, like, no, I think good.
Here's the thing, that creature back there also suggested that we go in.
Hold on, you have a problem with open signs, Desmond? Because they're telling you what to do?
Yep.
Okay.
I really do.
I get that.
Especially when we are, like, no, I don't trust it.
So come on in if a business were to write that on their front door.
Nah, I'm going to a different business.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just never thought
whatever
about
it is,
like
I don't want it. You can keep it. When we're here, we just got done. No, I'm good. I don't trust any of this.
Have we caught up to the others yet?
Yeah, especially since they're standing there trying to decide. And Tatiana, Valentine, and Desmond, you all would immediately see Uriah's eyes are jet black. There's no white whatsoever.
Oh my God, what did it do to you?
Spit in his face!
Yes. Not terribly, not
Does it
a bit
burn?
rude, but no,
hold on.
no.
Let me make good berries and rub the juice in it.
No, don't get
I'm-
goodberry juice
I'm
in your
nervous.
eyes.
I can't
No,
do
I'm-
it if I'm nervous.
Oh, I think I'm all right. And an open sign. Oh, I love signs that tell me what to do. It's always good to have order.
No,
Nice to have
can't do
the
it.
things laid out for you.
I can see that.
I have this feature that I have not used yet when we get to this door.
I just hang
Now,
on. Let me interrupt slightly. I just
Yes.
rolled again just for the lulls because there's all kinds of things on the Sibriax chart. The next roll was the target grows another head, causing it to have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, frightened, or stunned. I need you all
Could've been
to
another
know
head.
I'd have done it. Okay.
In another timeline.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, please.
That would have made the cosplay so difficult.
Pretty
I
much.
believe in you. You just showed up with a paper mache head next week. It's yeah. Sorry, Nahara. Yes, please.
Coming up to this door for the first time, what is it that Nahara sees?
How are you? By what method are you doing this?
Just
literally-
face value, just literally looking at this door.
A frosted white glass doors, otherwise a fairly nondescript gray building. Looks like it's probably one room, two max. It's not very big. And there's a sign that says the Vage Agency. Vage.
All right. I'm going to use my ghostly gaze to see past this door.
Perfect. Inside, you see an elven woman that is sitting at a desk. She is very oddly dressed based on what you've seen. She is wearing a wide-brimmed hat that is tilted to the side, a white button-up shirt, and what looks like was like a neckerchief of some kind that is just open on her shoulders. She has a flask that she drinks from on occasion and is writing furiously, and only stops to pick up what you thought was maybe a pipe, but it is long and skinny, and yet when she breathes on it, she blows smoke out afterwards. And you see every once in a while she looks in the direction of the door and just kind of and goes back to working.
Everyone,
Hmm?
there's a woman, an elven woman behind this door, and she seems to be, she's wearing a wide-brimmed hat, neckerchief. She's scribbling furiously, but only stopping to I mean, it's not a pipe, but she's smoking out of it, but it's not like a stick.
Is she made of gross gelatinous flesh and many limbs?
No, she's an elven woman.
Right. You said, I mean, elvens can. I've seen some in my day.
But she's drinking and smoking and writing. I think she's just a novelist.
Possibly.
Sounds right to me.
What is this agency?
Gay agency.
Well,
that
if
ring
there's
any bells?
nothing violent
Vague,
inside.
I don't know.
Uriah, you can give me history. You're from here.
14. Let me just check my bonus on that. So 15 total.
You've heard of like a detective agency that goes by that name, but you don't know why it would be here in elsewhere.
There is do I know where that's based?
Not with a 15. She sort of just has a the same way the Weathermay Foxgroves have this reputation of being roving monster hunters. She's a wandering detective, or at least she's taken cases in various places.
I relay that to everyone. Yes, a private investigator of some sort. Certainly not of the repute of, say, an Alanic Ray or an Arthur Sedgwick, but certainly I know the name.
Whatever it was, it didn't look, the situation didn't look dire or hostile. Perhaps we should just knock?
I suppose we could. Shall I?
There isn't a sign, so I guess it's not a problem. The sign doesn't say knock, I mean.
It doesn't say to not knock, and they're advertising what it is.
Yeah, I know. If it's had a sign that said knock, we couldn't do it. And never mind. Knock, knock.
The moment you knock, you hear, all right. Keep your shirt on. Come in.
Hello?
I use my glove to shove the door open really hard.
Give me an attack roll, Tatiana. You said really hard. So let's see.
Oh, no.
Actually, just give me damage. You're definitely well. Roll attack. You might get a natural 20. You don't know your own strength, and
That's
then
a dirty 20.
And then give me the damage.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's just straight up 4. That's why I won't roll.
Oh.
But my unarmed with the gloves, I think, is doubled.
Well, it's not
No,
that. You do an extra
2d10.
2d10. Yeah, give me the 2d10.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Okay, so then it's gonna be 4 plus 11, 15.
Tatiana, you do what would have just been, coming into the tavern to make an entrance, but you all see her hands begin to glow and the glass shatters as the doors fly open. And you see the woman just looks up slowly and she goes, "You know I'm billing you for that, right?"
Yeah, that's fair. She
So-
looks sheepishly at the ground and kicks her feet in the glass. Sorry, everyone.
When you come in, she just sort of like looks past you and she's like, "Come on, what is all this rigmarole? Yeah, what do you want? What?"
What brings you to this void, madam?
What do you mean, what brings me here? It's my office. I'm at work. What brings you here?
Happenstance.
Don't know him. And she looks down and starts writing again.
Do you have anything to do with the god brain?
She looks up and she says, I've investigated a bunch of mysterious disappearances connected to some, she like reaches around and she pulls out what looks like a book, but when she opens it up, it's just loose pages inside. She's like, a god brain. Yeah. Lots of bad dreams. People come back. Sometimes they don't come back normal. They got like worms in their necks and whatnot. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so no worm in your neck. Noted.
So you are an investigator.
Yeah. Lamira,
That's a cool book.
Flintlock Vagi, by the way.
Sorry, what was that? Elmira?
She says, Flamira, and then Tatiana, you don't see her move. She's so fast, but she just has this brown device in her hand. There's a silver tube on top, and it's got a trigger like a crossbow. She goes, Flintlock. You know what a flintlock is, right?
Look, no, I don't. What's a flintlock?
Hold on. One of them crab things.
I throw like a shield in front of Tatiana as she puts that up.
She's like, nah, come on. I mean, I'm not going to shoot her. She owes me money for the door, all right? Hang on. Wait, look over there. One of them crab things is coming. It never fail, especially they're going to be coming in the boom. And you see like smoke and flames erupt out of the end of whatever this is she's got before the crab comes around the corner and it hits it and just explodes into chunks.
Why does everyone hate crabs here?
Are there many of those?
Lock. Them crab things?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it never seemed to be getting rid of them. I don't even know where they're coming from. As far as I can tell, I mean, I never went like looking out for like a breeding colony or nothing because nobody paid me to do that. But yeah.
And you've set up your offices here for some time now?
You the cleric of the Raven Queen, right? Wait, no. Sorry, not the Raven Queen. What is this? Ezra, goddess of the mist, right?
Well, I know her by both names, but yes.
Oh.
You telling me that you like vouching for the rest of these people here?
Oh, most certainly. These are my friends and companions. I would certainly vouch for any of them.
Have you heard of the Black Dice Society? If you're an
Is that the
investigator?
name we decided on?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
You
I'm
see,
still for dark cubes.
She does start right. Black Dice Society.
But I suppose enough people have said it now that word of mouth has gotten around.
I think we're stuck with it, to be honest.
Wait. No, hold on a second. And she reaches and pulls another one of these odd books full of papers out. And you see as she's flipping through it, there are actually some pretty good sketches of you all, but they're all a little off. Desmond's not quite short enough. Uriah is like gaunt, almost like a skeleton. Tatiana is built like she's got additional abs and these huge shoulders. Nahara is into her dread form. You see Valentine, it's like somebody started drawing half of it and it just cut out, like they couldn't remember. And Finn's just looks like an open mouth coming towards someone. And she sort of arranges them. She goes, yeah, but if you use that Black Dice Society, ain't it supposed to be 6 of you?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes.
Yes.
What?
Oh, is that what you're here to contract me to do? Locate your missing person?
Sure. Can you put it on the door tab?
I will also say, I don't know if she's the missing person or if we're the missing people.
There's that.
She might be
That's
where
a good
we're
point.
supposed to be.
She might be looking for us.
We are where we're supposed to be when we're together.
You see she reaches down and makes a note on the picture of you, Valentine, and it just says, as smart as they say. Right. Okay. I got a little bit of a confession to make. You asked me when did I set up shop out here and wherever it is that we are. Not gonna lie, don't quite remember. But that's all right. I travel for work all the time, so I just come back here in between cases.
Where did you originally find yourself based? In what land?
You see she looks at you and like her eyes narrow for a second and she goes, that is an excellent question. Borka. Yeah, Borka. Yeah, Borka. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm from like a little bit of everywhere, you know. That's and she like looks down at how she's dressed. She's like, I know what I look like, I know what I talk like, but you know.
Uriah, what's in Boca?
Borka, well, it's a rather debauched place. It certainly can be. Lots of intrigue, certainly, and well, it doesn't pay to be an aristocrat there if you find yourself on the wrong side of another aristocrat.
And there is one other thing: the House of Lament was in Borka.
And of course, the House of Lament.
Its own domain. That is where it was physically located. Was in Borka.
Oh,
We've been to Borka recently.
Yeah, how is it? Terrible as always. Doesn't pay to be an aristocrat there.
Quite terrible.
Yeah.
Quite terrible.
They don't tip for nothing.
No.
sorry to hear that.
Yes.
You know, it's that actually is kind of where I got my start out there. You know, it's like this person is scheming and trying to come up, and so they want to dig up dirt on this other person. Turns out everybody's got some dirt, so I just started preemptively collecting dirt, but then everybody knew I had dirt on everybody, and it, you know, it's got a little you know,
complicated.
Sticky.
Exactly. And you see on the Desmond picture, she writes, strong, silent type, man of few words.
True.
Anyhow, but you found your way to me now. That's true, Valentine. You are correct. So I got to tell you, I ain't never had no missing persons coming to me telling me that they needed me to find them. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Are you capable of leaving this place?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't be any good if I was a detective that was stuck in one room, right? You know?
So you choose to be here despite the crabs?
Well, I'm just swamped with work, you know? Like I noticed the last few times I had a case come up, I actually kind of had the subcontract I had to give you. Hey, are you all may looking to make a few extra gold pieces if you want to go look into something?
Depends on what that something is.
We kind of need to find our friend or have her find us first.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. No.
Maybe we find her on the way? Or
I'm
she
not
finds us?
opposed.
That makes sense.
I do need to make money to pay you back for the door.
You know, I would say I might be willing to take it out of your commission. You know, maybe we just call it even if you like look in on a little something for me.
What is the task that you'd set before us?
Yeah, we'll come back to what the task is. You give me a minute because I'm just trying to make sure that I kind of got, you know, the lay of the land such as it is, that I've made the estimation of the Black Dice Society. Good.
I mean, we're still workshopping that, but yes, go on.
All right. So again, like I said, I got a little bit of dirt on a little bit of everybody. So there was all kinds of transactions we might be able to make right here. Is there anybody that you like looking into, something that you want to find out about, like somebody you want to know the score on? You see, and she takes a long drag off of that odd stick and blows smoke up into the air and puts it down.
What is that thing?
Oh, I mean, you ain't got no like head colds or plagues or nothing, right?
No, I've gotten rid of all of my curses that I know of.
She twirls it around and hands it out to you. She's like, you just take a big deep breath. You get them air genocide lungs.
I guess unending breath.
I was going to say, make an intelligence save for me, Tatiana.
Tatiana, you've succumbed to peer pressure.
Tatiana, you feel like you just drank an entire pot of coffee.
What's the job? We'll do the job. I know I can do a job. You want to see a job get done? You give it to Tatiana. That's who you give it to.
Why don't you like do some push-ups or something? Like burn that off a little, you know.
I'm already doing them. Right when you said before you said up.
That is a deceptive lung capacity she's got there. I didn't think she was gonna. And she looks at it, and the whole stick is burned down to almost nothing. She's like, oh, right. That's a useful trick there. And you see she like reaches in her desk and pulls out another one and tucks it back in. And she says, "So I can tell you's from all over the place. I mean, you look like you're kind of a Darkonian." Like a gladiator girl of some sort of aristocrat, but that ain't the style of nowhere that I've been, but that's all right. It works for you. We got some sort of like woodsman. You kind of smell a little bit gamey though, so I think there's more to you than it seems. And some sort of like lost princess type here, like literally you're wearing a crown. That's cool. All right, great.
Very perceptive. Clearly you're quite skilled at your job.
One doesn't like to boast, but you only got to pay for the best, you know? So, is there anything that like you guys wants to know? Like some dirt you want dug up, something about you want buried, you know? Like I'm full service like that.
I mean, this would
What
be
do you got on
awesome.
Lord Soth?
Oh, that guy. Okay. And you see she reaches in the drawer, the same drawer that she took this odd stick out of, and she pulls out a jet black, very thick folder. And she goes, I'm gonna tell you whatever you want to know, but what is it that you're gonna offer me in return? You already in the hock for the door, so what you gonna do for me, Blue?
You said you have a mission. I'll work for you.
Yeah,
I would
but
love to work for you.
I mean, I'm already getting the work out of you. You already said yes to it. That's the problem. I realize you're moving quick right now. Your thoughts are kind of racing.
I'm shadow boxing around the room.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. You kind of like overplayed your hand there. You know what I mean? Like you don't really got like no leverage there no more.
The rest of us didn't agree to help.
And Tatiana didn't necessarily settle on what her compensation would be. So perhaps in lieu of gold, information might be provided.
Yeah, I would say that I'm probably worth a lot more than the door. I got a lot of training.
All
She's
right.
very good at what she does.
Okay.
Look at those biceps.
It's impressive. All right. You know, okay, now we's negotiating. You want to know a thing or two about Soth. I can tell you a thing or two about him. Sad story, though. Like, don't read it when you got too much more to do. It's like very sad. And when she says very sad, Tatiana, you have a memory of that song he was singing. When all the people in the town stopped to listen and weep openly while he was singing. It kind of comes back to your mind. Yeah, that might work out. Okay, that's one down, 4 to go. What else the rest of yous want? What else the rest of yous got to offer?
I have a question. Are there anything in your records that might tell me anything about a former life of mine?
See, she just like sort of looks at you for a second. And she says, so the stories are true.
Indeed. Is there anything?
You see, she just says, all right, cards on the table. Maybe once I heard your names a couple of times, I sort of started up files on all of you. Maybe, I might got some insight.
Are you asking what I offer in return?
I am.
Well, since you did say cards on the table, I also have cards for the table. So, in return, you get to ask me something.
All right. Okay. I like this. Hold- Huh. Nahara. When you pick up the deck, you hear Strahd's voice. Beloved, we will be together. I will never stop. And it comes from the deck.
Am I able to respond to this?
Do the rest of us hear this?
You're sure it's him. You're 1,000% sure it's him. It even looks like his face sort of moves across the back of the cards while it's talking.
Highly unlikely. Did you hear the news? Uriah and I are engaged.
Ears. She says, okay, all right. I'll tell you what. How about we go 1 for 1? You ask a question of what I found in here, you turn over a card. Let's find out what fate beholds for old Flintlock.
Shall I go first or shall you go first?
Oh, please, ladies first, after you.
What would you like to know? Or is you asking that I go first and that I get to ask the question?
No, I definitely want you to lay out the card. I got an idea in my head. I don't think I need to say it out loud.
Don't you? And then with message, I say, you can just tell, it could just be between us.
Insight check, Nahara.
Okie dokie. Insight is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what it is, though. 27.
She's worried about something. A secret she's trying to keep.
Using message, I'll say, well, secrets always have a way of getting out, don't they?
She just says back, not if you bury him deep enough.
Tell me when to stop.
Whenever, dealer's choice.
Tax collector. That said it all.
And let's see. Hang on.
There's a tax collector card?
It's corruption in a government or an organization. Yep. You see her eyes just get a little bit wide, and she's like, I don't think I want double cards. But go ahead. Ask away. What do you want to know?
I want to know if you have any information on any of my past lives.
You see, she looks at the folder and she kind of like flips through it for a moment. And she just says, I think I got one that might be of interest to you.
I'm listening.
And you see she takes out a blank piece of parchment and writes something on it and folds it up and slides it across the table to you.
I take it.
Sorry, I'm sending you what you said.
Okay. I open it up and without trying to show an expression on her face, I would say maybe Uriah has a hint that something is unsettling.
Uriah sort of places his hand on Nahara's and just sort of looks at her. It's like, are you all right?
And with message, I'll say, I will tell you when we're alone.
Uriah will turn to Flintlock and say, my question is not about the past, but about the present.
All right.
I wonder if you can tell me, how fares Darkon?
Not gonna lie, buddy, it's not going well on the home front, but before we get to that, what's in it for me?
Well, certainly I have a number of spells which are of a healing nature or beneficial to you. If you like, I could hallow this entire ground. You seem to be...
No hallowing. No thank you, no sir. This is all
very
the
well.
tingle I need.
Then I suppose I can offer my services. As Tatiana has, I shall present myself for this task you have. If you can tell me of Darkon, I've heard terrible tidings. I understand that Aslan's power vacuum has led to what amounts to civil war.
It's the strangest thing. Like, I go back and then, like, places that used to be there ain't there no more. It's like the mist is coming in and just eating the place alive. But you're right. It is just sort of like 3 different ways they're going at it. There's the vampire, there's like the god king that died and came back, and then there's that Madame Eris. But I'll tell you a secret about Madame Eris. She's the only Eris. She's faking all of them. She puts on masks, she puts on wigs, she puts on outfits, she performs. He's the only one, man.
You mean she's playing the entire family?
Yeah. And using that to play all the Darkon. Wild.
I see.
I think that's the only reason that Metis and Darkalis Rex ain't already made a move on her. They think she's got this like great, powerful wealth and influential, like vast empire. Smoke and mirrors, friend. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, she's a tough lady, but I wouldn't necessarily want to corner her myself. But ain't all she's cracked up to be.
Metis. And Darsalis, you say? Darsalis Rex?
Yeah. Alcio Metis, though, the sister. The brother ain't been seen in a minute. Word is the sister might have, I don't know, though. That's unconfirmed. Don't let your guard down on my account.
And Darsalis Rex, is it actually him? Returned?
As the stories go, it was the religious types that were like, Darkon has to have a king, and based on the fact the whole place is falling apart, that might be true. Like, it might not be able to withstand without a king, so they brought him back. But I don't know. I didn't meet the first guy. Not like everything you pull out of a summoning circle is automatically going to tell you the truth, huh?
True enough. Thank you. Thank you, Flintlock.
And she literally just like flips the tip of her hat. And she looks at you, Valentine. You see her eyes narrow slightly. She just says, can I say something that might sound a bit harsher than my intent?
I would.
You ain't so different from the monsters that are running around out there, even though you got these nice duds.
What is your purpose in saying this?
Them I get all of them. You I don't.
Good.
And yet, I think you're still a negotiator.
I was certainly raised to be. So, with that, you said you've dealt with some cases to do with the Godbrain.
I have.
Have you picked up any relics of Blutzber?
She actually leans back. She says, I might have something that will help you, actually.
What is it?
Word of warning, this might be unpleasant, okay?
Sure.
She reaches down in that same drawer and she pulls out an oblong piece of rock that is twisted and misshapen, almost like it should exist in a different dimension or plane. It doesn't make sense when you look at it, the way the lines and the curves move and twist and connect. But she puts it down in front of her and she picks up the gun again and taps it with the barrel, and it starts to ring, and it is deafening and it is awful. Valentine, you remember that vision you had of your friends, of them all lying there, of them covered in these wriggling tadpoles. Each of you, when the ringing starts, these things start coming out of your eyes, out of your ears, out of your mouth. All of you have these horrible things come out of you and fall on the ground and immediately start squirming and dying.
What did you just do?
Cleaned out the I just call them tadpoles, but I feel like that don't do it justice. Yeah.
That was in all of us?
Yeah. You didn't know?
How would we
could
have
we
left them
possibly
there?
know?
You know, this is very common in my experience of people that have been to Blutzber. They say you don't go to Blutzber, you remember having been to Blutzber. It's like chances are you got grabbed at some point, you just don't know about it.
This is what happens when you go to Blutzber?
I mean, nothing good happens when you go to Blutzber, honey.
So we were all there at some point.
She looks down at this now puddle of dying tadpoles around each of your feet, and she just says,
Valentine stomps on one of them.
Probably more than once, by the looks of it.
Now, these came out of, like, me as well, right? I really quickly just kind of like roll my eyes back in my head and reach out for Tragrum.
I didn't know. I promise. I swear. I didn't know.
What were those things?
If I had to wager a guess, they are tadpoles. They are extensions of the God Brain, not so unlike me. Valentine, I swear, really, I swear on you because you are what is most holy. I didn't know. I promise. I didn't know.
So nothing changes.
If I had to wager a guess, I would say the God Brain has been far more aware of you and all of your movements than you have assumed up until now.
Okay, so it's just you now.
I don't love the ominous implication of your tone, but yes, it would be just me, yes.
And she like kind of clicks back in place.
Oh, that was something.
That was certainly worth something. We were far too busy for me to offer much help, and nothing Tatiana couldn't offer. So, and she'll take off her pearls and she'll offer them to her.
when you even
Wait,
start
your pearls?
when you start unclasping it, she actually holds her hand up, but she looks past it at the scar, and she says, "Can I ask you a personal question?"
Is that your payment instead?
Depends on the answer to the question.
Go on.
She motions at the now dying, wriggling tadpoles, and she motions back at the scar on your neck. Those related?
Quite.
You pissed about it?
Quite.
Let's just say you'll owe me one somewhere down the road.
Usually I would find that suspicious. I'm in the position of just accepting the kindness.
She leans back in her chair and she says, "Desmond, right?"
You?
What is it that you want to know? Because I got to tell you, buddy, I don't think you're going to like what I'm going to ask in return.
I don't even know anymore. Yeah, there it is. Is my brother still alive?
She sort of looks and she's like, "Alive? Yeah."
Okay, so you haven't done your research. Noted.
Well, recently it became a little easier to come and go into Barovia, and there was a lot of information that came flooding out, you know? I learned a thing or two.
Fair. Where can I find him?
This is the part I think you're not going to like.
I had the feeling you were going to say something like that.
He's already working for me, doing a job.
What's his name?
Armand.
Okay, just checking.
Armand Droons, son of Cyril Droon.
Okay.
Problem is he ain't checked in. And starting to suspect he ain't gonna.
Where's the job?
She reaches in the folder and slides a piece of paper across the table to you. And there is a hand-drawn picture of a gargantuan, hulking werewolf. Chemist, the one you saw in Barovia. Send him after him. Figured they knew each other, they worked together, then like maybe Armand would be the one to finally track him down.
How long ago did you send him on this job?
You know, strange thing about this line of work. It's weird, like talking about timing. I feel like I sent him like 2 days ago, but it's, you notice outside there's no sun, there's no wind, there's no eating, there's no sleeping. I don't know.
Fair. So
Recently.
another way to phrase that is, was he alive when you sent him on this job?
No, he was in his new state when I sent him on this job. Post Strahd. And I can tell you it's been long enough that I'm worried that I ain't heard back from him since. Oh,
So 2 days is too long for this kind of job.
I mean, you think you would last 2 days against that?
So what information were you trying to get him to get? What was he supposed to bring back?
1 second before I forget. Valentine, you see she pushes that strange rock over towards you.
Oh, I absolutely take it.
Excuse me.
And I'm sorry, it's the rock allergy.
Yes.
Like exactly. It's got blue spur pollen all over the rock.
The strange seasonal allergies.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I don't know if that's gonna help you there or not, but can't hurt at least, I think. Worst case, you got anybody you get a little suspicious about, you give that a tap. If the god brain's got its tentacles into it, it helps.
Thank you.
Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
This thing right here, this was one of Von Zarovich's main hitters. He's hurt a lot of people in a lot of places. Some of them were people I loved. Some of them were just people that owed me money. One way or another, Gimmis took them from me. What I asked your brother to do, track him down, find him, wait till he goes to sleep, or hopefully was dumb enough to turn back into his human form, and then... But like
So
I
you wanted
said,
him to bite him
I
to
wanted
try to
them
change him.
kill him.
Okay, just checking. That's
I mean, the
I
last
imagine that's
thing
not
I
a
want
change
is,
of the body would agree with.
yeah, that's the last thing I want is that guy having freaking vampire powers. Could you imagine a vampire werewolf like that? Ooh, boggles the
The
imagination.
thought is terrifying.
Brother
So
Uriah.
you just wanted Armand to go get information about him and then take him out while he was asleep.
I mean, I wanted him dead first and foremost, but information, of course, would have been useful. Uriah, give me an insight check while she's talking to Desmond.
Insight?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so she says, so it looks like our interests might be aligned.
That is a 29 on Uriah's insight.
Perfect. Desmond, she says it looks like our interests might actually be aligned. You find this werewolf, which I got a sneaking suspicion that you want dead just as much as I do, and you're probably going to find out what happened to your brother.
Where is he?
1 second here while I tell Uriah what you realize.
Mhm.
You come to that realization while you're having this conversation, Uriah. You okay there, champ? The smoke disagreeing with you? I didn't offer you drag off of it if you...
I'm fine. Just a follow-up question. How exactly did you... it occurs to me that Fen is probably similarly afflicted to the way we were with these parasites, shall we call them? How exactly... I am a healer, but is there something specific I can do to... would a remove curse, a cure disease?
I'm taking the stone with.
Yeah, Valentine's got the rock. You just give it a little ding. You ring it like a bell, and anybody that's got them things in it. Oh no, we lost somebody. We lost a wild Desmond.
Oh, we did.
All right, hang on here.
I'll be able to check Fen when we see her again.
As Valentine says that, Uriah looks over and makes eye contact with her.
Everybody's in the wrong spot, but we'll roll with it temporarily.
He is sort of looking at her pleadingly. He seems like, sort of, I need to talk to you.
I open up the telepathic link.
Dear Valentine, we may be in great peril.
What? Why?
I believe whatever domain we find ourselves in elsewhere, I believe it was called.
Uh-huh.
I think we are in the presence of its Dark Lord.
It doesn't seem to wish us any harm. Are all Dark Lords inherently evil?
That tends to be the way it works, yes. If one is put into a position of Dark Lord, one tends to be thoroughly corrupt and evil.
Power does corrupt, so I owe a favor to a Dark Lord.
As do I.
Right, a bit of an IOU. Well, at least she can't leave.
We still haven't heard what sort of task she wishes to set before us, but perhaps you should let everyone else know.
Yeah, I will. Is there any chance that someone could become a Dark Lord by chance that isn't, I don't know, that didn't essentially step on everyone else to get there?
That's not usually the way it works.
Okay. I'll let everyone know.
Valentine, if I might, could I provide you a small insight from my observations?
You may.
The very nature of this place, the nature of the reality that we find ourselves beset with, it would seem to... everybody is in the wrong spot. That's all right. I'm working out.
All right.
That's okay. It happens. The tech gods will as they will. Tatiana is now Nahara. Valentine is now Uriah. Desmond is now Tatiana.
Oh.
Nahara is
Do
now
we roleplay?
Valentine.
It's okay. I am only stronger because principle of things.
And Uriah is now
Ignore
Desmond.
the fact that I am not blue.
But did you hear? I'm engaged.
I open up a group chat.
Will you be punching your husband?
Well, I do think we're in danger.
The meaningful stare from Desmond is top flight, by the way.
Give me a moment. I make blueberries. Smash them in your husband's face. You punch him as much as you like.
Perfect.
I will actually let everyone know the information that I received from Brother Uriah and in a group chat.
Yep. Feel free to discuss it amongst yourselves while I write this tremendous wrong here.
Brother Uriah in the group chat.
Yes.
So we're talking to a Dark Lord.
Yes. I think that this being, if she is as she appears to be, is the ruler of the domain we currently find ourselves in.
That explains the card I drew.
Does that mean we have to fight her? I like her.
All of you give me either Arcana or Religion, whatever is higher for each of you. And I actually give it to you all with advantage because you've now been to multiple domains of dread.
Ooh.
Thank you.
That's an 18 on religion for Brother Uriah.
22.
22.
13.
Alan.
16.
28.
28. Both Nahara and Valentine, you both realize something pretty much at the exact same time. You all have now been to so many domains, some of them sweeping, sprawling, the size of kingdoms. Some as small as a single covered bridge. She is the Dark Lord, but she's the Dark Lord of this place. She's not the Dark Lord of that place. This building is her domain, not all of elsewhere.
Oh,
She can't leave this building.
that's useful to know. Also, if we just set up a tent somewhere, we could just be the Dark Lords of the tent.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait,
Well,
why have we
I
not
mean-
started our own domain before? This is a great idea.
Well,
Is that how that works?
You don't just become a Dark Lord by owning property. You also have to commit terrible acts of evil, and then
Apparently, have back taxes.
Yeah, is there like a
We could be
written
good Dark
policy?
Lords.
Is there like is there a write-up for what makes a Dark Lord?
I'm sure there's
Um,
paperwork.
I feel like we witnessed one be made,
formalized.
and that was enough for me.
Triplicate.
You make a good point. I'm less excited about it now.
Yeah.
Not all that evil.
She was helpful.
Yeah, and she's been helpful since, but I don't want to know all of the details it takes to make a Dark Lord.
Maybe the dread domains are moving with the times.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't wish to, as they say in some certain lands, throw hands when not necessary.
But they are rated E for everyone.
Future me agrees with you.
She's like, wait a second. Y'all, none of y'all are talking, but you're all just staring at each other, which I heard you do a lot, and then you're all talking in each other's heads, ain't you?
We just
were
like the meaningful
Maybe?
eye contact.
conferring. What exactly is the task you wish to set before us?
She slaps the picture of Gimmis. Like,
Mhm.
find him, kill him.
That's it.
Guinness.
I mean, I say it like, yeah, that is it, but I don't think there's gonna be like any small order.
The
All
really
of you.
massive werewolf from
What's the
Strahd's
picture?
domain.
Yes, even bigger than what you've seen. He was about the size of Harkon Lucas, actually, the werewolf that was with Strahd, that was not there for the final battle.
Everyone in the group chat just hears, all right, cards on the table, as they say. And Uriah turns to her. Very well. You can guide us then, grant us passage back to where we need to go to complete your task.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you go out that back door back there, and at least you'll be on the trail of them. At least the way I sent Armand, you know. But I mean, you got to be careful. Like I said, I ain't heard back from him, so maybe things went sideways. Maybe he got caught. You know, maybe he got ate. Sorry, Desmond, that was not my intent.
So he's not in elsewhere then? He's elsewhere besides elsewhere?
Is that what they're calling that out there? That makes a lot of sense. I mean, elsewhere is as good as name of any, really. Yeah. You know, it's difficult for the walk-in traffic being surrounded by like an apocalyptic monster-filled hellspace thing. You know, that's...
Yes, but in answer to my question, is he in what we are calling elsewhere, or is he in another domain?
Nah. From what I can tell, Strahd sent him out on some last mission. I don't know what must have been that important that he had him leave the castle before he came out to face you guys. I mean, I know Strahd thought he was just gonna like run all of you over and then like live forever with you, you know, sorry if that's a sore subject, but
He's in Barovia then?
No, he ain't in Barovia. That's the first place I looked. And she holds the flintlock up again and she goes, silver bullets.
Right.
Let's see.
Well,
I mean, can you think of anybody that like Strahd would have wanted to get a message to, like on the eve of this battle in particular, someone he would have notified?
Anyone who was his confidant, I assumed was part of his army. He had no allies in other domains that I know of, but...
I mean...
Does my sword hum at all? Like, do I get at this? Or
the sword is very unhappy to hear anything about Strahd. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like the sword wishes it had killed Gimmis right along with Strahd. It's like he's got that weird bromance with the Lich, but there was that other one. What was that one? That like Dark Queen or whatever.
Veronica.
That's that name. Voronika.
But it's not her anymore. It's different. I can't explain it to you.
It's possible that, yes, Strahd had been attempting to forge an alliance with her. Perhaps then she is who we seek. Perhaps it's her domain that this Lugaru has...
Wait. Hold on 1 second. Voronika Koshmar, like you, Blue. Like, who was this? You said it ain't her no more? Like, what do you know about her?
Oh, so now you want my information? Well, it will cost you. I don't...
Okay, right. I tell you what. We'll call the door even. How about that? We'll call the door even.
She was our best friend, and then she went evil, and... Well, now she's kind of not as evil as she used to be, but she definitely is, like, still not good. You know what I mean?
Wait, but how
And again, who's to say any of us are? I feel very conflicted about some of the actions we've done as a group.
I mean, but how does she, like, become a Dark Lord? I mean, you don't just become a Dark Lord by doing terrible stuff, or quite frankly, that's not important, but...
See? She kind of was in a sword for a while, and I think she got salty about that because she was murdered. Not by anyone who meant to do it.
What? She was raised in an oppressive system and raised to reach for power. All she ever did was exactly what she was raised and trained to do. Women that are intended for nobility are supposed to reach for every amount of power that they can. She was set up for a marriage that she didn't want in a land she was told was hers, and she took it.
When you put it like that, I don't know if she ever did anything wrong.
And she was killed by Granny because she was upset she wasn't invited to the wedding.
Does seem very petty.
It was. It's all petty and unfair. So I don't know what level of dark deeds she had to do to become a dreadlord, but I certainly never saw them.
I mean, revenge is as good a reason as any, huh? You see,
And that
yes,
Nara kind of like looks, averts eye contact.
When she says this, she just motions her hand, and all the busted glass flies up and just reforms, and the doors are perfect.
I don't know what happened to Kashmar. Or what became of it on the other side, but she took our empty lands here. When we saw it, it was not but a few people holding out trying to maintain it.
Well, there may be things that we haven't seen or know about.
You all did.
But if she's in alliance with Strahd, that's different.
You all
At
did.
this, can I? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, when at the moment of Veronika's ascension, when she stole Zabilna's power, you all did get a glimpse of her resurrected Kashmar before she kicked you out of it.
Yeah.
And what she'd done with the place. Yep. But yes, Nahara.
At all this talk of Strahd, the thought occurs to Nahara, and she kind of like, as everybody's chatting, she like holds the deck up to her face and she's calls on Strahd and says, Are you in here?
Nothing happens.
Is she talking to her cards now?
I was just trying to do something, it didn't work, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
What were you trying to do?
Nahara. Give me an insight check, and I'm going to have a question for you here.
Okay, I do like insight
You can give me insight or arcana.
They're both good.
Okay.
I will briefly excuse myself.
I got a natural 20.
Perfect. Then actually, you become aware of something as you are holding these cards and you're thinking about it. This storied deck of cards, Luba's Taroka deck, it actually has souls trapped in it. 14. With that natural 20, it is not Strahd's full essence, but just a fragment of him. Not so dissimilar to a lich's phylactery. It's actually not clear did he leave a piece of himself behind as an insurance policy. Quite frankly, that wasn't really Strahd's way. He never really considered defeat ever being a possibility. But maybe the Vistani, Luba in particular, found a way to keep a piece of him.
But is he eavesdropping on all of this right now?
You don't think so. You think something about how you access the memory, access the magic, pulled him to the surface at the time.
Ah, I see. Oh, that's very curious indeed.
And I will say one other thing. Of these 14 souls that are trapped inside, do not want to be.
And am I able to communicate with them, or do they just pop up as...
I would say, given that natural 20, if you spend some time with it, you probably could find a way to talk to them.
Interesting.
As of now, it is almost like, imagine if you had a pot of stew that every time you serve out of it, there was a certain chance that something else would come out with it, basically. But you think, again, with a 20, given some time and some concentration, you probably could find a way to speak to them individually, at least figure out what they are.
All right. Don't know if that helps any of this immediately, but I was just curious. Given Strahd's been on the topic of conversation.
I mean,
and I'm kind of saying this to myself out loud and then realize that I'm saying it out loud.
See, she's like, I mean, everything I looked into, everybody said he's dead. Walls are down. Barovia's free. Hip hip hooray.
I mean, it certainly seemed that way. But one can never be too sure, can they?
Valentine. You feel a pushing on your mind, but it is more akin to an animal scratching at a door. Not violently, but it's not the knocking you felt before. It's like something wants in.
Does it feel familiar at all?
It feels like Bloodspur.
Okay, I'm keeping it real. The door real barely open, like keeping the chain on.
You get the sense of eyes. Like you can see this building, but you see the building through many, many pairs of eyes.
About as many as our friend that we met a few minutes ago.
Way more.
Oh.
Way more.
Uh-oh.
And you feel sadness and you feel rage. Like words don't come through, just sensations. It's almost like what it is can't talk.
I'm still seeing the building that I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Whatever is trying to talk to you is talking to you through images and feelings, not words.
And it's sadness and rage. Can I try? I have a feat that allows me to speak any language if something can speak. So I'm gonna try and activate that to interpret this better, to see if it has any capacity of ability to communicate or any language.
It still never wraps itself in language, but you get the distinct impression that something is very, very lonely and very, very angry. But with that, the anger is not directed at you.
Okay. And in my mind to it, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions in my head.
I'm gonna let this work.
I'm just going to try to like soothe it essentially. She's not one to say nice words at it.
You do feel the anger come down slightly, and you feel what it's trying to show you change, and it changes into that unblinking eye in the sky that you see every night. It's seeing the exact same thing you see, but from a different angle. There's always the exact same mountain range in the background. Wherever it is you go, you're aware you always go to the same place. What you see is almost like if that were rotated 90 degrees. Like if something were looking at the same eye in the sky, but from a different place than you. And then it shifts back to the building.
Right. And she doesn't say anything.
You see it just starts to like creep backwards. You can see the building getting like further and further in the distance, and then it just shuts off.
And she'll just kind of return to engaging with whatever the party was doing.
Does that mean we got an accord? You guys find this guy, you kill this guy, we're all even with everything.
Yes. Right?
I'm in.
Right. I'm in as well.
Certainly, this individual has caused great evil. To strike would be to strike for justice.
Something like that. And she stands up and she walks over towards the back of the office, which is a bookshelf. And she reaches in, and with a loud click, it opens up, and there's a door on the other side in which you just see the very familiar sight of swirling mist. He's like, I don't know nothing about this Koshmar, but I figure you guys got some way to get there, right? I mean, you say you used to be friends. You gotta have something. A sword she used to be in.
We've
Don't
got
you-
plenty of relics of Kashmar.
I think I myself am a relic of Kashmar.
You know, that is very poetic, Blue. That is very poetic. I'm
Thank
gonna write
you.
that down.
Well, Valentine inspired me. She said she was writing haikus earlier.
Oh, you don't want to use that rock to try and get back. She reaches and she takes that white stick out and sort of like dabs it slightly and like bends a little. And she just hands it to you, Nahara. She's like, I bet you know what to do with this.
Thank you. Yes.
You breathe in really a lot.
No,
Uriah.
I don't know,
That's
that's-
not what you want to do. Like that, you hit it like it's supposed to be 2 puffs. That was at least 17 puffs, but that's neither here nor there. That'll bring
Tatiana,
you back here. You have a need.
Yes,
to.
you can't smoke this, Tatiana.
No.
It's so that we can get back.
Oh, okay. Remind me every day.
But once we come back here, I'll hand it to you.
One last question. What is this place called? Just this building?
Oh, the Vage Agency.
The Varga Agency, yes.
Vaga Agency.
The sign, I suppose, yes.
Yeah, that's why I got it marked out there. You know, be careful, so on and so forth, because you ain't no good to me dead. Desmond.
Yep.
Whatever your brother is, I'm not one to discriminate. You know, you ain't got no choice in being a vampire or nothing. He ain't no coward. Give him that. She just holds up the flask and takes a drink from it.
Desmond just pulls one out and has a pull of his as well. Thanks.
And as you prepare to enter the mists and return to Koshmar, good place for us.